What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Turbo today at the request of K97. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, my friends. Okay, so looking at this here, we got the weekly RSI pulled up, and I just wanted to point out something that it might be nothing, but it's just a little something. You know, last time here we had two peaks right there in the MACD, a little bit of red. And then right here where the little bit of red was, that was right here, right before we had a nice move up. Here we've got two peaks in the MACD as well, a little bit of red. I mean, we're right here. Could we be on the brink of moving up? Maybe not as big as this, but something up nonetheless. I think so. You know, if we were to make that same kind of move, if we look right here from a low to a high, relative low maybe here, probably, right, to a high. I don't think we're going to move all the way up to 14 cents right now. I mean, maybe. What's this thing's market cap? Turbo. I know it's not that high, right? It's not crazy low, but it's not like that high. Yeah, that's not 663. You could do a 10x and be at 6.6 billion. That would put you at a little bit more, probably around 10 billion, right? I mean, that could happen. You could see that kind of move. 10 billion is a nice kind of psychological level, and 15 cents itself is kind of a psychological level. Let's run with it for a second, okay? Let's just put a line up there. Let's put a line right up there at about 15 cents, right? 14 and a half, whatever. And maybe you go a little bit higher than that, just because that's the kind of idea. Doesn't mean that you have to stop there. You can go higher or fall short of it. High to low, kind of at the high. Maybe, like I said, maybe fall short of it. The 200, 886 level, that's a pretty common area. A lot of cryptos have been hitting lately, honestly. That could be what you do. I don't know. That kind of move, it would take you right there, right into that zone. Just saying. And that's the same move that we had here. And we're showing the same readings, similar readings, not the same readings, but similar readings that we did here right before we had that kind of move, right? And we've consolidated once, twice here. We consolidated once, twice here. Maybe we're ready for a big move. I don't know. That's the MACD. Looking at this here on the weekly, just the regular time frame with the RSI. Weekly RSI, I think, looks killer. Overall, very bullish, just staying above the 50, very dominant. Definitely looking like you want to move up higher. You're at 1.01 cents now. I expect or suspect that you'll move out of this range probably, let's see, from a high to a low here. Yeah, at least up to 2.1 cents, if not all the way up to 3.3 cents, maybe a little bit higher than that even. If we look at the daily time frame here, or the weekly time frame, we're on the weekly time frame. On the ribbon, some people ask what this is. Hold on. Some people ask what this is, and if you go to the 4 square here, you click on this and go to open template. For me, it's on recently used. Yours probably won't look like this, but you go to open template and go to technicals. It's the MA exponential ribbon. It is just the 20 to the 55 in iterations of 5. It's the moving averages, exponential moving averages on any given time frame that you choose here on TradingView, right? So that's how you do it, right? If you want to know how to do it, just replay, right? 1.01 cents right now. Definitely looking good on the weekly time frame. I think that's a really bullish bounce right there, looking very positive and dominant overall. Very suggestive that you probably move higher. Again, probably somewhere about 2 cents or higher is what I would expect from here. You're at 1 cent now, and this move could come in by the end of February. 3-day time frame looking bullish. Daily time frame, this one actually looks kind of interesting because it's been very disrespected, but it's very tight, it's very wound up right now. I think expansion out of this would provide a nice move, a very solid kind of fast, explosive move. And if we look at what we're dealing with here in the price, you've got this kind of symmetrical triangle. So breaking out of this could definitely send you up to prices that are above this high here, or basically right up to that high in a very, very quick amount of time. You're at 1 cent now. That'd be all the way up to about 1.5 cents. And again, I think you go higher than that. I'm just saying you might have an initial break that takes you up there, something like that. Or if not, maybe you have an initial break that's like this. You consolidate, and then you have that move afterwards. But something like that is what I would expect. If, let's see, what else could we do? I don't know. Maybe that's good. Let's do all-time high predictions, okay? So Turbo right now, it's at $663 million. Most coins, if not all coins, really every coin except for I think Ethereum, if you start below $100 million in market cap, you do not see a $100 billion market cap or more, right? That doesn't happen. Really, coins that start below $1 billion, they don't see $100 billion by the end of the cycle. At least not if it's their first cycle. If it's their second cycle, if it's their third cycle, you have more of a chance, that kind of stuff, right? But those kind of numbers are not common, and the only time that they are common is in cryptos that have been around for multiple cycles. Okay, so you might see a coin go up to 20 billion, 50 billion, $80 billion in its first cycle. Shiba Inu, right? Last cycle, it did crazy things. And Dogecoin went up to 90 something. It almost went to 100 billion, but it didn't even break 100 billion, and that was its third cycle. So I'm just saying, this is Turbo's first cycle. We can write off $100 billion as the potential, and this is why, what I mean, we don't have a previous high and a low from a cycle high to a cycle low perspective to measure off of, to project out for this cycle's high. We don't have that. With a lot of cryptos we do, but for this one we don't. So all we have is from my experience, literally just from my experience, what the perspective I'm offering off of what I've seen cryptos perform in their first cycle. And what I'm telling you is likely, very, very likely, with a very high, strong degree of likelihood, you're not going to see this thing break $100 billion. It probably doesn't even get near $100 billion. I would even say it's safe to assume we don't see a $90 billion market cap with this thing. So it's completely possible that it stops at 10 billion, right? And that's the thing. Anybody hearing this are like, it's going to go to 90 billion. You're crazy. It might not go to 90 billion. I'm not saying it might not even go to 80 to 50 to 40. Anything and everything in between that range is kind of available. And that's what I mean. It's not appropriate to give an all-time high prediction here. So it just depends on how much hype is brought about with this thing. What I can say, what I think is very bullish in the coins that you do see that are showstoppers every single cycle, right? They are available on the big exchanges, right? This thing's available on Coinbase. It's available, I guess it's kind of available. Yeah, no, it is available on Binance. I thought so. So that's the two biggest exchanges in crypto, on Kraken, right? All recently too, right? It's not like you just did this and you're going to sell off. You've already sold off, which we called that, by the way, immediately when we found out it was listed on Coinbase. 56%, that says something too. Most coins, when they get listed on Coinbase, they drop 60% or more. When you have a big exchange listing, you drop like 60% or more most of the time. So that's actually a below average drop, and I very much do expect or suspect that you're going to move up higher from here, that's a testament to its strength, I think. And so coins like this, again, coins that are hyped up, that have attention on them, that have been very dominant. I mean, just look at this thing, right? How many coins have been performing like this? This thing's very dominant, right? They tend to continue to be dominant all cycle. And people who think a coin like this at $662 million can't 100x from here, I think that you would be selling yourself short. And maybe not. Maybe it doesn't go all the way up to a $66 billion market cap. But to be fair, and that's a very high market cap. I'm not trying to underplay that at all. But it's a very possible market cap. And for a coin like this, you roll the dice. You're kind of shooting in the dark every single cycle to try to find out which coin it is that's going to be that hyped up coin that everybody talks about, that's brought up in the media, whatever, right? Last cycle it was Doge. Which coin is going to be this cycle? And it wasn't just Doge. Shiba Inu was talked about too. The metaverse tokens were talked about after Facebook, right? There were a bunch of different coins that were talked about last cycle for various reasons. Could Turbo be one of them? I think it could be. Doesn't mean it's going to. No, it doesn't mean it's going to. If it is, then absolutely a 100x from here is possible. Something above $70 billion, I think, would even be possible, right? But if it doesn't, even then, something above 10 billion would be possible. And from its current price, that's at least more than a 10x, right? So anything from a 10x to 100x or even like 120x might be possible. It's really hard to say, and that's why it's not fair for anybody to predict unless you have a genuine fundamental analysis that makes sense and it's compiled data. It's not just your opinion that's subjective. There's nothing other than just a random guess for how high Turbo could fly, right? Because it could fail to hit 10 billion. I don't think it will. I think it'll exceed that. It looks very good. The chart looks very good, and how it's performed overall this cycle. Again, how it dropped on Coinbase, that's again above average, abnormal, showing strength for sure. But does it see crazy high market caps like that. 66 billion, again, it's achievable. It's not like the most insane thing to achieve, but it's not common either. Only a handful of cryptos get there or higher, starting from the price that Turbo's at, starting from where it started in its very early days. So I'm just rambling at this point. I hope that you get my kind of philosophy on the high, right? And that's the thing too. Anybody investing in Turbo, you should be just like any meme coin, right? You should be in it for the ride. You get what you get, right? Don't be expecting 1000x, but also don't sell yourself short. I think that you will see something greater, a lot greater, significantly larger than a 10x. I very much do suspect this thing is 100x worthy from here, but it depends on how much traction it gets. But we'll see. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.